When a person has an autoimmune disease, their regulatory T cells are not working properly. Natural killer T cells are specialized attack cells that can recognize certain stealth infections and tumors that other T cells might overlook. Clearly, the thymus gland and the T cells that mature in it are a vital part of our immune system. The appendix is another specialized part of the lymph system. Every year, there are on average 500,000 Americans who have their appendix surgically removed. For a long time, doctors thought that the appendix was a useless organ left over from evolution that now served no purpose. Today, we know that to be incorrect. It turns out that the appendix stores a reserve of good colonic flora. In the event that an infection, or in modern times, antibiotics, destroy the good bacteria in the colon, all is not lost. The good bacteria held in the appendix can come out and repopulate the colon. It's like a probiotic insurance plan. In the same way that the tonsils keep the throat healthy, the appendix keeps the colon healthy. Unlike the tonsils, however, when the appendix needs to be removed, it is a life-threatening event and surgery must be quickly performed. What can we do to keep the appendix healthy so that it won't require removal in the first place? Now that we know what the lymph system does, the next question is, how does the lymph fluid move through the body? The circulatory system has the heart, which pumps the blood along. The lymphatic system, however, relies almost entirely on the movement of our muscles to push it around our body. The lymph does get a little boost from the back pressure of blood being pumped and from the movement of the diaphragm as we breathe. But without exercise and physical activity, lymphatic flow decreases by 94%. For thousands of years, humans were forced to exercise. Before cars, we had to walk. Before gas stoves, we had to chop wood. Before plumbing, we had to carry water. Before grocery stores, we had to grow crops. Even if you weren't in a physically demanding job, like being a farmer or a mason or a carpenter, just day-to-day living made you move about. Nowadays, many people spend more than half their lives without getting any exercise at all. We already spend 8 hours a day sleeping in a bed. If you work from a desk, add another 8 hours of relative inactivity. Add to that the amount of time that we spend on the sofa watching TV or sitting in a vehicle during our daily commute. It is apparent that the average American now spends the vast majority of his or her time in a state of physical inactivity. While being relieved of the back-breaking manual labor that made up much of pre-industrial existence has certainly been a blessing in many ways, it has also had a negative effect on our bodies. We are meant to move, and without movement, the fluids of our bodies become stagnant, specifically our lymph fluids. This is one of the many reasons that exercise is important for our health. When you see little kids rocking their legs in a chair, this is because they instinctively want to move their lymph. Unfortunately, this behavior is not encouraged in most schools. If you have a sedentary desk job, get up every few minutes and move about. It's good for you. Try to include at least 5 minutes of movement in every hour of your waking day. There is another way in which we can support our lymphatic system, and that is with bitter foods. If you taste nearly any medicinal herb, you'll notice that it is bitter. Bitter flavors stimulate the immune system in the same way sweet flavors suppress it. Fruits and vegetables 5,000 years ago were much more bitter and much less sweet than they are today. An example of this is a crabapple. Thousands of years ago, all apples tasted like crab apples. If you've never had one, they are small, bitter apples that you'd rather spit out than chew. Over thousands of years, Farmers picked the biggest and sweetest crab apples to grow in their orchards, and in this manner bred what are now known as our modern apples. While these sweet apples taste good, they have been stripped of their medicinal lymphatic stimulating qualities. Their excessive sweetness encourages infections by increasing our blood sugar levels, as well as directly suppressing our immune systems. Adding bitter herbs back into our diet with supplementation is one way that you can support your lymphatic system. Well, now you know all about the lymph system. In order to help this vitally important and overworked system, we've developed Limplex. Limplex is a nutritional supplement that contains 10 organic and wild-crafted herbal extracts specifically chosen for their lymphatic cleansing and rejuvenating properties. These herb extracts tighten the lymphatic junctions, thin the lymphatic fluid, and support proper lymph flow and immune function. Limplex contains extracts of echinacea, ginger, astragalus, cleavers, calendula, red root, lobelia, mullein, and burdock. You can take Limplex as a daily supplement, or any time you feel sluggish, have an infection, or are doing a general cleanse of your body. When you take Limplex, you may notice physical sensations in the lymph nodes around your body. These are signs that the sluggish nodes are getting a good cleanse. It is also possible for a person to feel tired or a little under the weather the first time they take Limplex. This is natural and is to be expected, as years of accumulated debris is now being flushed out of the body. If you want to keep your body healthy, you need to keep your lymphatic system healthy. If you want to keep your lymphatic system healthy, get some exercise, and consider making Limplex part of your health program. For more information about Limplex, contact the healthcare professional who told you about this report.